grew up, I'd rather play catch than hit BP. I was so addicted to the pop of the glove and the spin of the ball off my fingertips. And so, like, when I see guys, I like you said, the spin trainers, because we're the same way where I'm like, here's the thing. You're going to figure yourself out a little bit. I just need this to be on an axis and tight, but I don't care what it looks like. So mess around with it. You can even throw some down here where the ball is like, flat, but like you got to just see where it is. But most of them learn like, man, when I go like this over the top, I can't pronate. And this thing is like, tumbling at me like a duck. And that has just been a big help in the training there.
Well, I like doing that intentionally. I'll tell guys, like, hey, I want you to try to throw this ball like a Frisbee. Not because you necessarily want them to do that in the game, but you want them to know what it feels like so that whenever you ask them to make an adjustment or they're trying to make an adjustment on their own, they have a reference point. When they keep doing the same thing over and over and over and they can't make a change, it's like, all right, we got to figure something out. So when you get guys to learn what it feels like to throw from down here and learn to throw from up here, that's a pretty good thing. Another thing I like to do with that is just ask guys, like say, all right, if this is 12 o'clock and this is 9 o'clock on a clock or 3 o'clock, whichever way you're looking at it, I'm going to video you. I want you to throw and I want you to tell me where your arm was on the clock. And you would have guys throwing from up here. I don't know if my hand's on the screen. Throwing from up here, and they say, "Oh, that's at 3 o'clock. That's at 3 o'clock," because they think their arm slot is much different than it is. Or it might be, the other way. They might be right here, and they think, "Oh, I'm down at 2:30," and they just don't have the awareness. So then when you can play it back to them, and they hear themselves on screen, they throw like this. That was 3 o'clock. And then they look at it like, ooh, I was off right there. And then you kind of get the connection, and hopefully they're able to make adjustments a little more quickly.
Yeah, I like doing a lot of sidearm drills. I'll have them kind of like, I'll throw a ball below their belt and they got a funnel to their belly button and then just rotate and go, like no feet, and just feel that. And I'll film them, and then, I'll take the video, I'll take the camera, and I'll go like this as I replay it, and I'll realign their body. And I'm like, okay, so when you get into a good position here, because when we're in the bent over like sidearm position, the reason guys get so good is you have to use your scap to create space, right? And when I'm up top, I got all this space that I can use. Here I have to get into the scap, and then when that arm comes through, we realize that most good throwers have their elbow in line with their shoulders, where the actual releases might vary. But it's like they go, I tilt it up, and then they're like, boom, in this like really good position. And I'm like, that's what it's going to look like for you. We just got to get you to allow it to be athletic and happen a little more naturally when you're up top instead of really forcing it to the top.
Absolutely. I love doing the same thing with video. You can rotate, like you say, when you look at their trunk and see where they are, and then look at their arm and you show them. It's like a light bulb goes off, for so many guys that have never done that, never seen it. And especially when they feel good, fielding that bunt or fielding that ball where they throw down here. It's like, oh, wow, I can do that. It gives them confidence too.
Tell me this. I just came to my head as we're talking about this. How come, like nowadays when we as coaches, especially in the catching world, and you talk to big league coordinators and, guys like us working with amateur players and things like that, we always study the best, right? Like we just study the best guys at what they do and how does that apply? And it doesn't apply to every guy, but at least we would look at the best as a model of what it should be, right? Now, the best thrower, to me of all time, and I know that you're probably going to agree, was Pudge Rodriguez. And
absolutely.
Goddamn if he was nowhere near on top of the ball. But like, how come I'm growing up in the 90s and like nobody is talking about how the transfer happens in the middle and the arm slot might be a little bit lower. It's all to the ear, get on top of the ball. I mean, is it just do you think it's just an access to video and how much we have now that we can do that more? But I don't know. There's something there that's a little weird to me as I'm thinking about it.
No, I absolutely think that's it. I think for a long time, catching instruction was it was just regurgitated what people had been told. There was no slow motion video. I mean, maybe the rich family in the neighborhood had a huge camcorder, but you're not looking at yourself in slow motion. You're not able to dissect what guys are doing. Even the access to watch guys. Like I said, I grew up in Mississippi. We had Cubs on WGN and we had the Braves on TBS, and the only guys you got to see were the guys that the Braves or the Cubs were playing. So you just didn't get to evaluate like you do now. And then you put in social media and that's taking it to a different level. And then also just the I hate to say the popularity of catching, but man, it's really kind of taken off over the past couple of years. I say past couple of years. Let's say past 10 years, because it really is probably about 2015 or so. There's more guys that are doing it. It's become fun. It's become cool. You got guys growing up that want to be a catcher. When in the past it was just like, all right, who can put the gear on, and nobody wanted to do it because you're getting beat up and it was hot and this and that. So the instruction has come a long, long way. And that's why, I mean, if you had tried to catch from a knee down stance when we were in college, like, you would have gotten crucified. That just was
Crucified.
Nobody was open to it. It wasn't even, you wouldn't even do that in the bullpen. Like, what are you doing? Get off your get up. What's
Lazy.
going on?
Yeah.
Lazy. It's so bad.
Yeah.
So I think the instruction is way better. I think I think the access to social media and watching guys. I mean, hell, I watch more video now than I did when I was coaching in 2008, just because it's on social media. You're posting stuff. I see all the other catching guys posting stuff. It's on. I got MLB TV every morning in the office. I mean, it's kind of all you do. You just watch stuff all the time. So I think the video library, whether it be on your computer or in your head, is just so much more expanded than what it was, 15, 20, 30 years ago.
If you enjoyed that, be sure to like and subscribe. We'll have a new episode for you every single Tuesday here on our YouTube channel and wherever you listen to podcasts.